Good morning. It is day 4. It's just after 7 a.m. when I am starting to design today's episode. I have already wrapped my Boulevard practice session. For those who are new here, I'm Drew Freeman, and this channel is about documenting my journey of music, which includes developing my voice, working through some musical pieces, learning how to arrange pieces for a cappella, and eventually forming an a cappella group. If you are enjoying the process and the videos that I'm posting, of course, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed. If you put a like on the video, and of course, leave a comment. The comments really help me understand what's connecting with people out there and how I should figure out content for everyone from that. So today actually started last evening. If you've been following from the beginning, you know that I've had some technical issues starting pretty much in time with this YouTube page. So last night I spent about an hour and 40 minutes working through a pretty frustrating problem. Full stop. My audio software was neither recording my microphone or playing through my headset. Full stop. I said it again. Let me explain why you may hear me say full stop from time to time. My keyboard is not working very well, so I transcribe. And when I come to the end of a sentence, instinctively I say full stop, which tells my transcription software to add a period. So I will try to get out of the practice of doing that while I'm talking. So audio was not working. The weird thing was that each component was working just fine. It was when I tried to use them all together. And what I'm talking about there is the microphone, the headset, and the software, and the fact that I use some virtual casting to make sure I can pretty much have a good environment. So there was something, it wound up being really, really deep in the audio subsystems. And the deeper you go in Apple OSs, the less friendly the interfaces are. The general attitude has always been, if you're that deep, you should really know what you're doing. Full stop. See, I did it again. I will get out of that practice. Anyway, after an hour and 40 minutes, I found what was deep in the pits of hell, fixed it, everything was working, and I was really jazzed to actually just come in and sing this morning. Let me talk about today. So I am up to my 25th recording of my singing. Each one, of course, I label as a take. And this is pretty much in the vicinity of 5 a day. And part of what I'm working on is to up my stamina so that I can do more. For context, a reminder, again, if you're new, I'm working on the song Boulevard of Broken Dreams, but I'm working on an arrangement from the a cappella group The Bass Gang. Please check them out on YouTube. Really great stuff. Right now I'm only focusing on about the first quarter of the song. Now, I've broken the song down, or at least what I'm practicing, into 2 sections. The reason is that section 1 is about an octave higher than section 2. So breaking it up into 2 sections makes it easier to enter in my log how things are going with specificity between those 2 sections. So section 1, as I mentioned, sits about an octave higher. And in section 1, there's also a quick touch on the note D sharp 4. If you're into music, that makes sense. It's pretty much the fourth octave from the left end of a piano, and I'm hitting the D sharp. The reason I note the D sharp 4 is that it sits just outside my comfortable upper range. And as a result, working that D sharp 4 is a combination of expanding my range and improving technique, just honestly learning how to cooperate with that note. The early takes showed that everything was working, but not fully connected yet. My first take I often refer to as my daily calibration take. When I started, there were a lot of inconsistencies in pitch. I got the melody a little off. Timing. In section 1, there was one area where I was just completely off on my timing. The D sharp 4 in section 1 was also a bit unstable because breath control was not up and running. Section 2 also suffered from breath control issues. As I went along, things changed, things improved. I got out of the mindset about thinking about the individual notes and focusing on the shape of the full phrase, which is where you want to move toward. That's when I could actually figure out what was going wrong where. It turns out that the timing problem in section 1 wasn't me entering on the third line of that section. It was that I was getting the rhythm of the second line of that section completely wrong and winding up in the wrong place to prep for that last line. Breath issues in 2 weren't about support. They're basically how I was pacing the air. So as for the final take, which especially I want to refer to my last one, number 25, things really started to lock in. The entrance was strong, supported, and the D sharp 4 was hit during the last 2-3 takes. It wasn't quite the way I wanted it to sound, but it wasn't forced, which is a big thing when you're working with a note that's out of a comfort range. Please remember, I'm not a vocal coach. I am actually studying through vocal coaches. So what is working for me may absolutely not work for you. Talk to somebody who knows what they're talking about. I'm just telling you my story. So the reason the D sharp 4 doesn't sound right is because I haven't basically made peace with it yet. So the tone isn't fully consistent. As a result, the way it sounds to me is not quite professional enough. However, I have to admit, during, I think it was either take 22 or 23, I hit one half of a line where I thought I could hear that with the other people singing. It felt like it had reached that point. I am hoping the entire piece will. Not hoping, I intend the entire piece to. Let's see. So everything started working, but as I hit that last take, I started to fall off a bit toward the end, and that's basically vocal fatigue. One thing I should note is that in May of 23, I had a severe case of COVID that hospitalized me for 40 days. Since then, there have been a lot of side effects, not the least of which is stamina and my ability to take a deep breath. So that is more of a labor for me. But anyway, overall, very productive session. I think one of the real tells that it was a good session was my calibration take, which is my first take of the session, almost always sucks, and I mean badly. And today, it wasn't a painful cut. It wasn't perfect, but it actually felt like I was already connecting up. So now I'm moving more into more consistency, less thinking about what I'm doing and feeling it. That's a lot, and that's really what day 4 was here for. Uh, Thank you, as always, if you're watching, for joining me on this journey, and I will see you tomorrow. Later.